What's up, guys? Welcome back to your real estate 101.com. Well, today I'm talking to you guys about the eviction moratorium. Well, basically, the moratorium is ending. The Supreme Court has struck it down again. The strange thing is they want us to believe that the problem with the moratorium, or the need for the moratorium, is that if you don't have it, then people are going to catch COVID. So, in other words, if you pay your landlord the rent, that's going to get you COVID in some theory. But the reality is they're saying that they're going to end up in shelters, people are going to get evicted. But the real question is, why are they getting evicted in the first place? Well, it's because they didn't pay their rent. And that's the part we have to think about. Why didn't they pay their rent? Well, because politicians told them not to pay the rent. They didn't have to. Now, some may argue, well, you know what? There was a lockdown. Businesses were closed. Okay, well, let's think about that. Businesses were closed. There was a lockdown. But then what happened after that was, well, yeah, they gave them unemployment. That means they were getting money. That means they could have paid their rent. But they didn't because they were told not to. Well, what about the stimulus checks? Why didn't they use that? Well, they told them not to again. Now, this is the main idea. It became a very political thing, like everything seems to be these days. Everything is political. It's all started with Trump because he wanted more votes. He wanted to get some more votes. That's it. He wants to get more votes. And then Biden, well, he's scared of the squad. He's scared of the squad ladies in Congress. But the key thing, though, right now, is the Supreme Court has shut down this whole moratorium, federal moratorium thing. The only way they can start it again is if they can get the votes in Congress. And right now, I don't believe they have the votes in Congress to move forward. So, what's going to happen now? Well, what's going to happen today is that the moratorium is over, at least the federal one. And now some states still have moratorium. New York's moratorium will end August 31st, but Supreme Court also struck down their scheme, more like scam. It's this fake declaration of hardship that basically the tenant only has to fill out this piece of paper and just say, you know what, yeah, I'm having a hard time. It doesn't need to be proved. They don't have to prove it. They don't have to show paperwork. They don't have to do anything. Now, what I find kind of funny is that it's so easy for them to tell tenants to stop paying landlords. So easy for the tenants to just not have to pay just a little magic wand really quickly. But yet, these same group of people can't put a website together so they can get rent relief out in months. Think about that. There's something wrong about that. It's easy to tell people not to pay. It's easy to stop evictions. But you can't seem to help those people. In fact, instead they are pushing landlords to be the ones to support the country in a way, right? So now we're looking at the 3.5 million people might be getting evicted. Wait, before I move forward, true story. I go to court. Tenant tells the judge asks the tenant, what's your hardship? Tenant tells the judge, well, my hardship is I got too much hours. Yeah, that's it. She had too much hours. She actually did not stop working. In fact, they gave her more hours because, well, some other people decide to get unemployment instead. So she got extra hours, and that was the hardship. And guess what? The judge answered literally, poor dear. And guess what? Adjourned for 6 months. That's the kind of stupid things that was happening during this weird moment in our country. So you have to think to yourself, where was this supposed to end? How was it supposed to end? Think about it. What, landlords are just gonna let a few months go? Even if rent relief kicks in, these people have been in even past the coverage of what rent relief would cover if they can get that thing together. Now, another question is, what about my investors out there? My new investors. Well, my new investors, I'll tell you right now, get your money together. Right now is gonna be your opportunity. Because there's going to be a lot of houses that's going to come off the market. There's a lot of landlords who are stressed, tired, who just doesn't want to be a landlord anymore. And that, my friend, is going to be your opportunity, because there's going to be good deals out there. There's going to be deals that can change your life. And not only that, because there's going to be so many deals, I believe there's going to be a lot more creative financing. In other words, more owners, landlords who want to sell are going to be more into doing creative financing or giving you creative financing, maybe holding loans for you just to get the thing out of their hands. Some might not even want to wait to put it on the market with everybody else. So you got to keep your ears open and make sure you're focused, because this is, like I said, this is going to be your opportunity. Now, for those who have tenants, well, what should you do? Well, I think you got to move very cautious when it comes to kicking everyone out. It depends on how many people that's not paying in your portfolio. However, you want to be very cautious. If you can get that tenant, if you can keep things cool and get that tenant to pay, I recommend you get that tenant to pay. Don't just kick them out right away. At least think about that. If they're cool and they're okay and they can pay up the rent, then go with that direction, because keep in mind, that could be a lot of months. It also depends how long they didn't pay you for. But if you can get most of your money, then go with that. If you can't get most of your money, or if you think this person's a jerk and you don't want to deal with them, then yeah, get them out. You don't need that. You don't need that. Move forward. But just remember, northern states, winter's coming. Winter's coming. It's going to get cold. You're going to have to pay for turnovers, empty apartments. A lot of people are leaving these apartments pretty trash. I've seen lots of videos, and I even experienced a few tenants who just left it, moved. They knew the evictions were coming. They didn't want an eviction on their name, so they left early. Okay, so, and also you guys got to know that's going to happen too. And when you're going to accept these new people, you're going to hear a lot of excuses. You're going to hear a lot of excuses. You're going to hear a lot of reasons why they didn't pay the rent. Some people will tell you it straight up, but you're going to hear a lot of excuses. So just be careful. Make sure you're doing your homework. You make sure you have your screening process together. Update your screening process, because it needs updating. Right now, it needs updating. You need to know, because the tenant who comes in and says, well, I lived in my place for 3 years or 2 years. Just make sure those were paying years. And then the problem too is that calling those previous landlords, can you imagine how many landlords just want those people out? Would you say something nice to get the worst tenant that you dealt with for like the last 2 years out? So you're going to have to be careful with that. So update your screening process. Make sure you know what you're going to be doing. Okay. Anyway, well, there you guys have it. Now, if you guys haven't already, please subscribe, like, share. And you know what? Ask some questions down below. Tell me what you guys think. Do you guys think the markets are going to change? Do you think things are going to get great for the investor? Do you think this is going to be the perfect time to invest? Or do you think we should wrap it up and be done with real estate investing? Well, comment below and let's have a conversation.